Before we begin today's episode, do yourself a favor. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this platform, as well as hit the bell button to get notification for future episode releases. Oh yeah, and thank you to all 7 of you. Hello, hi, hey, my name is Reed Mason, and you're now in my house. Welcome. Over here, what we're going to be doing today is be talking about books, journals, articles, whatever it is that you want to talk about, where we involve a lot of reading. We talk about our expressions and nuances of the books. So yeah, welcome. And as usual, I'm never going to be alone with this. I've got D-Light on decks, helping us in producing this. Let's get the show on the road.
If he ain't sussed out the power rings, he's gonna have a fucking time. And then, my turn to play first. Hellfire rings burns worst. Erzif! You believe in wielding magic? You got that right? I must perform deeper analysis, but I see this power you harness is in reality the scraps of creation. Like random errors in computer code, discharged, discarded, and forgotten.
That sexy voice you heard over there was, and you are?
Yeah, man. I'm Reed's Marc.
Reed's Marc, yeah.
Because this is Reed's house, so you have to have. I think in the tradition of your show, your surname comes first and then your name after. So I'm Reed's Marc.
That's Reed's Marc. Reed's Marc is one of my niggas. We do share quite a lot of things that we have in common.
Yeah.
And what it is we have in common from what he was reading just now is comic books, anime, manga, and the sort.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's the title of the comic book you just read?
Oh
from
yes,
right
the clip or the segment that I read from. Apologies for everyone that has read it. I made a couple of errors, but yeah, that segment is from Doomsday Clock. It's from issue number 9. So that segment is when Dr. Manhattan fights against almost the whole Justice League. So yeah, he's fighting against the magic wielders, like the British guy again. What's it? Constantine, and he's with Itena. So he's just, what you guys actually believe in magic? For those of you who know Dr. Manhattan, he's basically God in the DC world. But yeah, that's what I was reading.
That's DC Comics, right?
Yes, DC Comics.
Detective Comics.
Yes.
Yeah, do you know the author of that piece?
No, I actually don't know.
Or we're sticking to just it was started by the
I just
DC
read,
Comics.
but but it's quite old.
Yeah, I didn't heard of it. Okay, then, I mean, I hope you don't mind me asking questions about what you just read.
Yeah.
So you and I read comics and manga. Was you reading manga? Was that about you taking up on reading? Because you didn't want to, because we all start off with that. Yeah, I don't like reading because there's no pictures. Was this how you this what got you into reading?
Yeah, growing up, when you start crash and stuff like that, people are like your teachers would always read you storybooks, and how these teachers would always read these storybooks. They would show us the pictures. Yeah. So I was always fascinated by the pictures that they showed us, like the Little Red Riding Hood type of vibes. And then they will show you the wolf that is that eats the grandma and tries to eat the Little Red. Right? So I liked the pictures. So that has been something that has kind of stuck with me. I've been a pictorial person. And, for me, I prefer stories with pictures because I like seeing what I'm reading.
Yeah.
So that's.
You bring up that. What did you say? Red Riding Hood.
Yes.
When you were younger, what was that? when the teacher was explaining or telling the story and showed the picture, did you imagine the wolf to be all muscular and stuff, or
You
was it
know,
just
I always imagined, I don't know where I got it from. Maybe our parents were not very parental guidance or advice, but I always imagined a werewolf. And then when the teacher turned the book around and showed us, yeah, this is the wolf, it kind of did look like a werewolf. I was like, oh shit, nigga, that's dope. But yeah, like so I had my image of the wolf, and yeah, and it was confirmed when the teacher read the story and showed us the pictures and all that. So yeah, like it also helps with imagining,
yeah,
and I think for readers that read with no pictures, I think they have a stronger imagination than us who prefer pictures. Because for us, when you read a book that already has pictures, you're giving them that image. So now like, oh shit, this is how it looks like. But then like with people that just read, it's just a thing. It's a thing of, I'm imagining how this person looks. This person's probably 180 meters tall, and yeah. So
you said you had that werewolf. Was it the Michael Jackson werewolf?
yes, Michael Jackson werewolf, but yeah, with the normal hind legs of a dog. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The way they do it in comic books specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for that, bro. I mean, the next question would be, so going on from what you just said right now, when finally you see it on picture form, you because you're a DC fan, so you'd see it in the book that you're reading. You see how they depict Doomsday. You see how they depict all these characters.
Yeah.
And when they move it into movies or series and stuff like that, do you think that do you think they do a good job? Do you think they do some justice? With what you just read right now.
I like what you say there, justice. Like it's too much Justice League.
I'm a big fan too.
But it depends. There's different artists. And different artists have different, I don't know, imagination ideas of how characters should look like. So every rendition of a superhero or villain or character, whatever, it's based on that illustrator's imagination. Some of them get it right, some of them just lose the plot. But I think it's also something that they should do with working with the writer and the illustrator, because talking about like what you're saying, am I happy with how they illustrate some of the characters, right?
Yeah.
With I'm moving to another comic now, like Stan Lee. Stan Lee always worked with his illustrators. I forgot the illustrator he was working with, but he stopped working with that guy because that guy ended up going to DC. But they were such a good team, because Stanley would describe how he wants Spider-Man to look like, and then his illustrator would draw it like this and be like, is this what you're looking like? Yeah, perfect. So that's how they should, work hand in hand. But yeah, to answer your question, I'm sorry for how long it took.
No, yes, I like that answer. It's quite descriptive.
I am happy with a lot of the actual what you call visuals that they conjure up from comics. Some of them have not been the best, but a lot they've done it right. So especially Batman. Because Batman, they have so many renditions of it, and the one that I would say I didn't really like was of Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer's Batman. I didn't like the long. Yes, yeah, no. But apart from that, it was good. It was good.
So taking from what you started with when you read the Doomsday Clock. There are two renditions of Dr. Manhattan, from that movie they made a few years ago. I forgot the name of the movie, and then they made a series as well.
Oh, Watchmen.
Yeah, Watchmen. Yeah, then they made a series as well.
Yeah.
It was that. I mean, according to what you're reading,
Yeah.
and then looking at that,
Yeah.
did they get they get Manhattan right?
Yeah. Bruh, like the different renditions of Dr. Manhattan, it's I like it. But my most preferred is with the Watchmen movie. That one was very, very what you call. I would say it's the most accurate depiction of Dr. Manhattan. Actually, the whole movie is a proper depiction of the whole Watchmen series. So, okay, with Dr. Manhattan, the disclaimer they already had back in the day, 2009, when the movie came out, I think, was that it's under 18 movie, so it's going to be displayed how they display it in the comics. So he's a nude guy. So yeah, like he's nuclear, what you call, he's got a nuclear composition of a body. But yeah, like that was very properly depicted. He glows, and like it was proper. So now, like with the series, I'm not gonna lie, I've only recently started watching the series. I'm just anticipating to when they show Dr. Manhattan because, sorry, I'm actually a fan of Dr. Manhattan. From the what you call the trailers before I start watching the series, so far so good. I can see they didn't make him glow like how he initially glows in the movie, but that's because he knows how to make himself. He knows how to dim his light and all that. But the blue they use in the series, I don't like the blue.
Yeah.
The blue they use in the movie, you can see that it's radioactive.
Actually,
even when he's dimmed down, he's
quite true.
He's light. But but apart from that, I like the persona, the character. It's proper. It's proper.
The movies. I also like the movie as well. You said they warned us that it's gonna be for grown-ups. Do they do the same in the comics? And also, I mean, on top of that, did the storyline stick? Because it's about reading. The people that take up on these roles to go and depict it.
Yes.
Did they do a right job? Really, really.
Oh yes. You see now you. I've realized that I've been speaking about the visual side of it, but how it's written, it's written perfectly, especially with Rorschach. Rorschach's character is properly written. Dr. Manhattan's character is properly written. There's a certain arrogance, and he has this nonchalant type of attitude, and because of who his character is, he has this God complex. So
straight,
and it's properly written because it's like you're talking to an atheist, but you're talking to an atheist who is an actual being of what the world consists of.
Straight talk.
The protons and electrons.
You make me want to rap now. That before. That's a nice answer because it was going to make me go into the next question. How do you, reading the comics, and then there's of course the visuals on the side, but reading it, how do you manage your imagination? Because you did say that they give you the picture, cool, so you don't have to work out on that. But then when you're reading it, there's onomatopoeia, and with the comic books, they're so boring. It's smash, crash, swoosh. But in your head, when you see something happen, it's and how do you put that in words? Right? And then on top of that, how do you imagine the voices, because you are reading different characters, and here it's properly shown that who's talking here is a white person, who's talking here is a girl, who's talking here is someone that's got how much do you imagine what Dr. Manhattan sounds like, knowing that he's radioactive? How does your imagination deal with that?
Something that pictorial readers and normal readers have in common is, it's still the imagination to
straight
know
talk.
what these characters actually sound like.
Yeah.
So they'll tell you that this guy sounds like this, that guy sounds like that, this woman sounds like this, depending on the ethnicity and all that. You imagine they own, you come up with their own voices and stuff like that. Like I'm moving again now to what you call Marvel comics. When you read Power Man, you hear, you kind of imagine how Power Man sounds like. And the way they depicted him in the series, it was like, shit, nigga, like this is properly depicted. It's a guy who, he still sounds ghetto, but he still wants to sound a bit, I don't know, maybe upper class or middle class with manners, lack of a better word. And how they depicted him there was perfect. So it's the same thing, like you're asking with the different character, what you call imaginations and all that. It's all up to you. And until they do a visual of it, it's up to you to decide whether this is the correct voice that you imagined. If it's not, then
do you feel that you must have, like, you must accept it now?
Yes, you should accept it.
You thought that Manhattan sounded like this, and then the depiction comes out as I saw like this.
I think it's also, I think a lot of it has to comes down to how quickly they what you call do a visual side of it. Like when you think of Spider-Man and Deadpool, Spider-Man and Deadpool have the perfect voices for those characters. And now that's the only voice you imagine them in when you read the comics. You can only imagine who's that Canadian guy who does a voice for
Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
You can only imagine his voice because that's the voice that Stan Lee actually wanted.
Oh yeah, quite true.
You can't imagine Deadpool. Yeah, I am going to kill you now. Yeah. Nah, man, that's not it sounds bad. Or imagine the Hulk goes, Hulk smash! No, come on. It's not like that. So
if we can stick on the Hulk, I don't like what the Hulk that can talk, and I don't like that. I like the stupid Hulk. Hulk smash. No like. But when they make him wear glasses and I can talk, that's a little shit, bro.
That's a bit bougie. I didn't like that too. But
thanks. That's a nice answer. I think sticking to the question that I did ask. When you have to imagine now the sound, because I was reading Injustice, and I read it in silence the one time, and there's a point where the characters fight the supposed devil and one of these characters that can switch in between dimensions. And I swear it, bro. I swear it, Mark. I was reading it in silence. And so when those two characters fight, it actually warps time and space. And they had to draw that as best as they could. I mean, you can't imagine what warping time looks like. We get it from sci-fi.
Imagine how it sounds like.
Imagine how it sounds like. But I swear, Mark, when I was done with that thing, I was like, whew, that was intense. Yeah, because for me, when you're deep in, and the thing is, I connected the laptop to the TV, the screen is bigger.
Yes.
And I think also because I was high. But when I was done there, I was like, I can't read this thing again, right? I need to calm down. So that's also, just going back to the question. The imagination, does it help that you now read Doomsday and you now, if they go and put it on the movies like they do with the DC movies, do you also feel that they get the sound right there as well? Like the changing of the ring, when Lantern has to come on the ring and what's his name? Constantine has to disappear. Do you imagine? And then in the movie they do the same thing.
Like, again, it's a thing of imagination, and the nice thing about sound effects or onomatopoeias, you just imagine loud things. Windows breaking is, in South Africa, is pling-a-ling-a-ling.
And in Congo.
But yeah, nah, so so yeah, you hear all these things.
Yeah.
I read manga as well. So
yeah.
the manga that I was reading is Naruto, but from the Shippuden series.
Yeah.
What I would do when I read the Shippuden series, I would actually play episodes of Naruto Shippuden in the background while I'm reading the manga.
Oh,
So that gives another element, and at least it helps because they're speaking in Japanese in the background, and you just reading in English. So,
equivalent to doing the subtitle.
Yes. So it is. Yes. So it's equivalent to doing the subtitle thing. And another form of reading, I would say, is listening to books.
Oh yeah.
There's one that I'm listening to right now on one of the platforms. On that platform, it is Batman Unburied. Wow, that book is properly written. It is properly audio written. I don't know if that's how they do it, but like, and that's where they work on the listener's imagination, because when you listen to that book, the voice actors, especially the guy who does Batman's voice, you can hear when he's talking as Bruce Wayne, and then you can hear when he's talking as Batman. And like they have those segments where they are fighting, and they still not forgetting that this is a book. You don't want to just hear sounds. You also want to hear them talk and describe. So they keep it short.
Okay.
And with how comics and manga are written, they have a lot of words, but their words must keep you captive.
Oh, okay.
So that even when you see the little action that they do with fighting and explosions, even if it's short, but for you it's enough. Like, oh snap, because the lead up to that was proper. So reading and listening to books, it's all about the skill of the writer. So yeah, bro, like I would suggest that you listen to that Batman Unchained and listen to anime background effects to give more of that element when you're reading. So yeah,
so that's basically how you manage it. At least you're getting all the different platforms.
Yes.
So that when you do read the manga, it's definitely you got the picture there, but of course you put in your own stuff. And then when you listen to the books, the DC, as you said, I'm gonna definitely check that out. At least they're giving you another medium of sensory input.
Yes.
I've actually never listened to a DC one. So if you allow me to stick to this for some time, I watched the movie Constantine with Keanu Reeves. Yeah, I think a lot of us watched it when we were not supposed to. And I was thinking about the scoring that they did in the movie. Very nice. But when you go to the DC, the Constantine they do there and Keanu Reeves Constantine just clash so bad.
Yeah.
And when I read the comics, I'm like, I don't know whose Constantine I have a problem with. Do you ever have a situation where you're not sure which one to actually follow or to put in your imagination when you're reading or when you're watching the movie or series?
I whatever is given to me, I follow that.
Okay.
Because what they do with what they've recently started doing, I would say over the past 15 years with movies and comics, some characters, they will change their ethnicity. And
the message. Sorry, I'll explain that.
So some characters, they change their ethnicity and they're trying to see how the crowd will react. Like what we spoke about, Doomsday Clock, the comic. Watchmen. Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen, the movie, he's a white guy, but in the Watchmen series, he's a black guy.
Yeah.
But then at the end, it shouldn't matter what
True story.
ethnicity he is, because at the end he still ends up becoming a blue guy.
Yeah.
So you follow what's given to you. That's how I read the comics. That's how I follow the series. So I take what's given to me, and if I don't like it, then I don't like it. Like, a lot of people don't really know, but with Marvel, Nick Fury in the comics, the old comics, he's a white guy.
Yeah.
But in the MCU universe, in the movies, it's Samuel Jackson,
and he does a good job, though.
Very good job. And now that's the image I have of Nick Fury. If I were to see the white one, I'll be like, oh, this was the version of the white Nick Fury. But yeah, it's, so from, like I said, I take what's given to me.
I've never imagined it in that way, because sometimes they impose some of the changes, the ethnicities. Ethnicity is fine if both of them get it right. Like Dr. Manhattan from you saying Doomsday or Watchmen.
Yeah.
It's fine because regardless, he's going to be a blue person.
Yes.
So, and people are not blue.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, it doesn't matter, as you said earlier on, with certain characters. But sometimes they pump that thing into you so hard, like, but the issue here is, at the end, you mustn't forget, some of us are readers of these things, not just the followers on your TV and your series.
Yeah.
And this is why I was saying the message. So there's this guy I follow on the socials, and he does a lot of criticizing of movies that come out. And he's had the same complaint about specifically Marvel forcing an American/Western agenda, change of ethnicity, sexual orientation, keeping peace, and every time it gets to that part, you see him roll his eyes and he says the message. So that's why I was saying that. But you're right. I mean, you take what's given, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then you can move on. I mean, they don't owe us anything. We don't owe them anything, especially for reading. So do you sometimes feel like when you read first and then you eventually go to the series or to the movie, do you feel like you want to go online and tell them, Ish, you guys, you did a good job here, or Ish, no guys, this one didn't work?
Yeah, I feel like that a lot of times, man. I'm there's a lot of different renditions that I want to complain about, but we live in a free world, so you can't say free things.
I like how that works.
So I do feel like telling people, like, nah, this is not it, guys. It's not how the readers perceive us. And if you are doing these changes, who are you doing these changes for? Like, out of nowhere now, let's say you make Batman a black guy for the rest of everyone's life right now. Work. From today on, like, everyone knows Batman is a rich white boy, bro.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne doesn't even sound good on a black guy.
Dog, like, we would like to see it.
Yes,
but we know that, nah, man, it's not Batman. Like, I mean, like, can you imagine Batman today, white Bruce Wayne, fights, and then he dies, and then the next day his apprentice is wearing the Batman suit and it's a black guy, and it's like, I'm the original Batman. They're gonna be like, nah,
we know,
we can see, bro.
Yeah, it's like the way we spoke about Wonder Woman's outfit the other time. I had the idea that Wonder Woman has to be sexy, but when you showed me the picture, like, no, Wonder Woman is a granny.
Yeah, she had granny clothes.
She's been wearing granny clothes.
She has been.
Yeah, and I think I think also we must sometimes people need to be very careful on what they fight for.
Yes.
But things like Bruce Wayne and Superman, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Those are white guys, and it's one of those we should be okay with it.
Yeah.
Because even when you read it, because I've read a comic in a novel form.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Marvel. It was X-Men, and you don't when you read certain characters.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel in the writing that this person, this is a white person. Not that it should affect essentially my response to it, but at the end you're trying to get a message across. You want the reader to feel comfortable.
You know, that's why readers are, I mean, not readers, that's why these writers are, they're also human beings. They know what the people want. If you want a black Batman, they've written something where they will include a black guy wearing a bat suit, but he's not Batman. He has another name, like Batwing.
Yes.
Like, oh shit, now we can see a black Batman.
Yeah.
He's a part of the Batman family, like with what they do with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We want to see a black Spider-Man. So what do? You bring in a Spider-Man from another universe or another radioactive spider bites a black kid, and he can also have Spider-Man powers. So now that's Mike Morales.
Yeah.
You know, so if you want to see a black Superman, you bring a Superman from Earth 5.
Yes.
Like, who are you?
Yeah.
No, I'm Superman in my world.
Yes.
But you black. Like, you white.
You white. Yeah, yes.
You know,
true.
So the writers do that because they listen to the people, and they give the people what they want.
And they don't force it. I think, especially DC doesn't like to force things. Yeah, because there was a big fight about Poison Ivy doesn't look like this. You guys are exposing her bums and it is like, yeah, but like that's why they call her Poison Ivy. You're not imagining someone not sexy, you know, regardless of how you read it in a comic. And sometimes when it goes to video or to picture, they give a full outfit. I'm like, yeah, but where the titties at? no, it's not even making them what they're not. But I mean, when you read it, especially in the comics, they would put a point where, okay, you're supposed to read it softly, you know, or when there's supposed to be a bang or a crash, or you know how Superman would stop and I fight for justice. Like the writing would show you how to animate it if you were to do it.
Yes, true.
Yeah, so I fully agree with you. Yeah, no, you're right about that. No, thanks for asking. Thanks for answering. Thanks for asking me to not.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks. For the next question would be so you were reading DC. You said you're reading Doomsday. Of the comic books that you read.
Yeah.
At least give me 5 that got it right from what it's on the what it's like in the manga or in the comics, and when they depicted it in pictures and series and movies and stuff. Give me 5 of your top that got it right. And
first
why?
Things first, off the math. But the first one I would say they got proper, without a doubt, is the manga series. Almost every manga series gets it right from what they have in the manga, and then when they put it on visuals in the anime, like Tokyo TV5 stuff. So Naruto is properly done. Tenjo Tenge is properly done.
Oh god, that one they killed it.
So those are my first two.
And why? I know Naruto. You're the one that got me into it, but I mean, I'd like to know why you say they got Naruto right from the comic, from the manga into
because first of all, they don't change the art style. The art style stays the same. I know it's hard to animate a lot of 3D flow onto a 2D illustrated anime. And like that's when they bring in other CG, what you call users to make the fight flow as smooth as possible. So that they did properly. That's why it's properly done with all these animes that I mentioned, like the Naruto and Tenjo Teng. So with DC, what they did a nice depiction of was I like Superboy.
Really?
Superboy,
Superboy.
yeah,
Okay.
Superboy, but the new 52.
Oh yeah.
Superboy new 52.
Where they make him like man, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
see,
Where
like
he's wearing the black and the
yes,
S,
exactly
the S
that.
is red.
Because
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan, and I apologize for those of you who do like the Superboy where he's wearing the black shirt and the jeans. I understand that concept, but I don't like it. You know, for me, superheroes have the outfit.
Yes.
And for me, that's just someone wearing casual clothes. So Superboy
Okay.
new 52.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them do a depiction of that visually,
Yeah.
but I like that rendition of
Okay.
New 52.
New
And
52
then I
Superboy,
like Superman Unchained.
Yeah.
Also, I think that's also part of New 52.
Yeah,
right?
that
Yes.
was yes.
Oh
that's
wow!
one of
Like
that
where
New
he's
52.
fighting against, I think it's L.
Yeah.
Is it L? The one with the long hair. He has the Superman suit.
Yes,
And,
it's L. Yes.
But they haven't done a rendition of that.
They haven't made it, put it into picture.
When you see the Superman Unchained New 52,
Yeah.
and then you compare to the movies that have been coming out, the suit kind of makes sense because
yes.
they've moved out of the old Superman that we all grew up with the underwear and the yellow belt.
That thing looks terrible.
It's very terrible. And
funny, that thing has always disturbed me a little.
It's also disturbing.
Why are you wearing your panties outside, bro?
Panties. but yeah, you know, and they've done the same thing. So with Batman, so those are my 5: Naruto, Tenjo Tenge, Superboy, New 52, Superman Unchained, and Batman, New 52 as well. I'm sorry for those who think that I'm a sucker for love for New 52, but in terms of
you got it right though.
In terms of the outfit, they fighting outfits. It makes more sense with the new world. There's no need to be wearing your underwear on top of your pants, you know. So so that's what they did, and they've kind of carried out that same design concept into the DC movies that have come out. Because the fighting attire looks the same.
I like what Zack Snyder did.
Yes.
The Zack Snyder Justice League.
Yes.
Especially like what they did with Aquaman's suit was crazy.
Yes, yes.
That was mad. And also the super. So I'm a big Superman fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think your Zack Snyder really kills. Your Superman looks proper, man.
Yeah.
The dark blue.
Yes.
You know, it's not just that baby that blue.
Baby blue.
Not that baby blue. Yeah. I don't like that one.
Yeah.
So I like what Zack Snyder did into it, and then you know when Superman comes back to life, that black suit.
Yes.
So you're also a big follower. So when you go on the pages and you see the detail they put into making these suits, it's crazy, bro. I'm also with the black one for Batman. So from the 5 that you gave, is there one that can make like a special feature? Is there a 6th one you know they got right? Because I was thinking, I like that show, The Titans, but I don't like the CGI they did there. There's that character, the boy character that becomes
Beast Boy.
Beast Boy.
Oh yeah.
The CGI in the beginning of that thing is terrible. It's like, oh man, you can see that you guys did this with a mouse. You guys didn't do this in studio.
Yeah, it's very tricky to animate like a green creature like that moving smoothly with the flow with the rest of the other characters. I understand what they did with giving him just the green hair, but I think gradually it moves to, you know, him with the green skin. I don't know how they're going to do it, but you know, apart from the depiction of it, but if you look at it, because let's not forget, we're still talking about reading it.
Yes, reading it.
How
yes.
they've written everything
Yes.
With Titans,
Yes.
Teen Titans in the comic books, and the Titans that we watch in the series.
Yeah.
I think it's a proper display.
Proper
Display.
They did a good job.
Yes, I think so.
Serious.
Apart from the color of Beast Boy and how old Bruce Wayne looks in the series, but it was properly written.
I actually agree.
It keeps you, captured.
Yeah, I actually agree. I think even what is it? Nightwing.
Yes.
Yeah. His character was proper.
Yes.
Do you have that sometimes? You like the grown-up part of it, because Naruto can seem very nice and sweet to kids, but it's quite violent because they rip off arms.
Yeah.
You know, some characters die and there's blood. Do you feel censorship should be taken into consideration when they move into making series and movies, or must they keep it at the same level?
I think they already do that.
Yeah.
Because if you read the manga of like Naruto in the beginning, even if you were to read it without no visuals or pictures, you will read that, okay, this is a young boy, he's trying to be a part of society, he's trying to make friends and all that. And then when they move into Shippuden, you can hear now and read, like while reading, you can read that these people are grown up to that first version we started reading in the beginning. In the beginning, you read that, no, he's very childish. He's a young boy still trying to make friends, and he makes mistakes by stealing this. But now when you move to Shippuden series, you can hear that, no, he has now graduated from Genin to Shenin, and all that. So that means age. Now the age he's a grown man. I think even when you read the profile of Naruto, like in Shippuden, you read that he's 18 years old, 17 years old. So you can hear that these characters are growing. And now
up, yes.
the older they get with what you are reading,
the more real it gets.
The more real it gets. So now it's kind of like, you see, that's why I say it's about the person writing as well. He's writing that, okay, now with coming of age, you are going to experience people dying. You're going to experience people living your life. You're going to experience more hardship than you did compared to when you were a kid.
Yeah.
You're going to experience broken friendships. And for me, I think that is already a censoring that you were referring to, because it's like, oh snap. And if you can't handle it, then stop reading.
Stop watching.
Because it gets worse.
Yeah.
Because a lot of main characters die.
Yes.
And that is how reading is, because reading, as much as you get a lot of fictional things, but there's still that reality side of reading something, and that's what they did with Naruto. It gets old, he's growing up, and then it leads to war. War is not a childish thing.
It's not child's play.
The third ninja war is not a childish thing. So that is enough of the parental sensory advisory I feel that writers do, especially when it comes to comics, mangas and stuff.
Oh yeah, quite true. Thank you very much for that. So if you want me to ask this question is about the piece that you read in the beginning. Is it a whole series of different books intertwined?
Yeah,
or which issue are you reading now?
That was from issue 9.
Oh, okay.
And it's from issue 9, and that segment is from when Dr. Manhattan comes from another dimension, and he shifts into this DC dimension.
Yes, where we are.
Yes, where
this is a real place.
And and the reason is there is because he has these flashbacks,
Yeah.
or he has these flashes of
Yeah.
just seeing this clock,
Yeah.
and it's that clock that he has on top of his head that
Oh.
he engraved on, and that's the time. That clock is a significance of when he's about to fight Superman.
Clark Kent.
Clark
I
Kent.
love Clark Kent. I love Superman.
So yes, that segment that I read it's just at the entrance of
Okay.
when he gets into the DC universe and starts fucking shit up.
How much? How much would you rate it so far out of 5?
Out of 5, wow! You know, the Watchmen original what you call dimension or whatever is already good, and now
yes.
the fact that they brought someone so gruesome and so real and terrifying into this DC world even made it more gruesome. So like, and because he's fighting like majority of the older members of Justice League, it's something you want to see. You want to see all your superheroes in one set. So far, Doomsday Clock is, man, out of 5, the rating I give it like 5.
Straight.
Queen.
Yeah, you like the queen.
Yeah, bro.
Thanks for that,
Bombo
bro.
clat, man.
Yeah, Delight, do you read comics? You don't read comics?
Yeah, I enjoyed this episode. Marco, what a wonderful guest. I'm very interested in comics now. Something I haven't really cared for much, and this is why. Basically, would you say that maybe this is for the both of you, the host, Joe and Mr. Reed, and Mark, and Mark's Reed, all of these people and their names. Comic books and stuff with pictures always seem like an escape from reading. Like, the more pictures, the more, you know what I mean? Even when it comes to, especially when given a task back in school, the more pictures I'd come across, the more pages I knew I had to skip. When they asked you to read 10 pages and there's pages with 2 pictures, that's 8 pages. Yeah. So would you say it's a good thing for that, or is it a similar experience that got you into comics, whatever? Because that's what pushed me away from comics. The fact that there are so many pictures and stuff. But anyway, that's my question about that, and
Thank you. Reads Mark.
Yeah. I do understand exactly where he's coming from. That's how I used to cheat my assignments in high school. Put more pictures, less words, and it's all said and done. But if you were to actually remove the pictures from the comics, so a normal comic book, like when I was reading the New 52 versions of these comics, they would have like 12 pages. And I think something that they always do, I think in the middle segment of the comic, they have a full page committed to just the artwork. Okay. But then, like, if you remove all the artwork and you put, like, they'll tell you Superboy is from issue 0 and it concludes at issue, let's say, 30. If you remove all the pictures, you will actually read a book that is worth like a couple of pages, because it's a lot. The pictures are there to distract you. It's not distract you. It's to entice you. Yeah. But that's why they keep it so short, like per issue, because they want you to continue. Yo, man, what's going to happen next? But then at the end of the whole series of what you read, it will be a very thick book. But yeah, I do understand what he's saying. I do understand people that are drawn away from reading comic books because it does look like
pictures.
It's just pictures.
Popeye.
Yeah. But yeah, you actually read a lot there.
Yeah, this is quite. So, yeah, I mean, thanks, Delight, for asking. Yeah, Mark is right completely. You actually do read quite a lot. So the books are almost it's a comic book paper. What? There's people that really follow it. Yeah. Those are short. The 12 pages, as Mark said. Most you'll get is 15 pages. They don't push after that. And some parts in the book where they give you just the eyes. There's actual full dialogues. So what you're reading is more dialogue than anything else.
Yes.
And dialogue is what helps with putting your imagination in place, because you're going to still use the same part of the brain when you read a book with no pictures. You're going to need to imagine a voice, imagine how the face would look, because a book would say, with his eyebrow raised, he turned and looked at Mark, and so Delight asked.
Yes.
In the comic book, they don't tell you that he turned.
You can just see it.
You see it, but you're going to have to do he asked this question.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, especially in comic books, DC, I'm a big DC fan. Let's just get that straight. Mark did make mention where they tell you, if you want to know this part of the conversation, and they say you'd have to go back and read, not to go back and watch, not to go back and imagine the pictures. So comic book is reading. I think it is off-putting because of the Popeye-ness of it.
Yeah.
And you can't get someone into reading comics if that's not what they're into. If they're not into you need to be quite into a lot of other things before you take up the reading aspect of comics and manga. More than anything, you need patience, which is the same behavior attribute you'd need to have before reading anyway. So it's you go into it the same way. If you want to read, you want to read a comic, they can be nice, but they can also be boring. And it's one of those where you can't tell, yo, check this out, go read this, because already they put off by Popeye on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is quite off-putting, to answer your question. Thank you, Delight. Thanks for that answer. Thanks for that question. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, thanks.
Me and Delight will definitely go and look for. I don't know if Delight is gonna do it. We'll definitely go out there to look for Doomsday. I'm already a big fan of DC, so I'll definitely go out and check that out. I hope Delight will also jump on it. Delight, will you jump on it as well?
Yeah, I hope he does.
I hope he does too. I want Delight to get into this thing, because you find sometimes we're all having this deep conversation on one side.
Yeah.
And Delight's not there. It also happens with another person.
Yeah.
I'll jump on it. I don't know if I must read, but I'll jump. That's what superheroes do. They jump.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah. At least there we got it. We'll definitely check it out and jump on it. So again, Mark reads Mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
My nigga. No, thank you for pulling through. We'll definitely check it out. Do you have socials where we can check your illustration, or socials that we can follow, so we can get into this Popeyes and stuff?
Yeah. On Instagram, you can find me at Marco Itena. That's on Instagram, Marco Itena. I have a couple of
Marco Itena.
I actually have a couple of illustrations that I've posted on there. You can also find me on YouTube, at Kick-Ass Marcky. And also on Pinterest, Kick-Ass Marcky as well. I have a couple of illustrations there. So
also,
yeah.
Also, you the drawing type.
Yeah.
You like to draw.
Yeah.
The stuff when you tell your parents when you're young, I want to be a
drawer.
Drawers were painters, more Picasso and them. Yeah. No, thank you. We'll definitely check you out on there.
Thanks for adopting me. Giving me the name of Reed. I now go by Reed's Mark. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Delight, do you have a shirt to give him, or a beer to say bye-bye?
We can start with a beer.
Yeah, some presents are passed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Delight that opened that thing you heard. That's what Mark's gonna get. No, thank you very much for coming. Thank you anyone for listening. You 7 out there. I'm sure there's 7 of you listening to this. Me and our top producer, they really like this. Thanks for coming to our house, Reed's house. Accidents happen. That's what everyone says. But in a quantum universe, there are no such things as accidents. Only possibilities and probabilities, folded into existence by perception. Perception is reality. Reality is what you read.